Hey guys, I am here just to give a brief review for people who are interested in using Pinterest to help grow your Pinterest accounts. And it's a tool that I've been using for the past couple months, and it really is amazing how well you can automate a lot of the daily tasks that you need to do in order to achieve quick and sustained growth with your Pinterest account. So we're going to kind of walk through some of this, and hopefully this will help. So this is a fairly new account that I've set up, and so this will look fairly similar to yours when you first log in and sign up. So we'll kind of walk through how you want to set it up and get it running. So this is your dashboard here. All right. And we'll kind of walk through each of these different categories and how you want to set each one of them up. So you can see this is a new account. So we don't have any followers gained from Pinterest yet. It's because we haven't really started to use it. But on a previous account, I believe I gained almost 600 in about 2 months. And that's with pretty conservative settings. So it really is a very powerful tool. So if you'll look over here, down here is kind of your dashboard where it's gonna give you some metrics for how well your account is doing using the Pinterest tools. So these aren't necessarily super important right now, but later you'll be able to use it to track everything that you've done. All right. Here is where we keep track of which features you want activated at certain times. So we'll kind of walk through what each one of them is. But first, we're actually going to come over here to the right, where this is one of the first things we want to do when you're setting up your account. And these are your tags. So this is going to be how you're making sure that you're interacting with the right people on Pinterest. And it's going to kind of depend on which niche you're in. So for this particular account, this account is about weddings. So for some of these, you would probably want to cancel some of these out and type in some new ones. So for example, you might put weddings, maybe wedding dresses, wedding bouquets, wedding rings. And so you would want to put in at least 10 tags, but you could go up to 20 or 30. And you want some to be general and then also some to be more specific. So that way you draw in a large number of people. So this kind of helps make sure that you're attracting the right people and interacting with the right people. So getting these tags set is something important and you want to do right at the beginning. Okay, so let's start to talk a little bit about the dashboard. So we want to start first with some of the most simple parts. And this first one, we'll start down here with the follow and unfollow. So this is kind of one of the core features of Pinterest. And this is how you're going to gain probably the majority of your followers is by following people on Pinterest and then unfollowing. So if I wanted to turn this feature on, you would just select here and here as well. And what it's going to do is it's going to automatically follow people on Pinterest who are interested in the same kind of things that you are interested in. So the way that it knows that is based on the tags. So let's see. Up here, so in the advanced settings, so this is talking about the unfollow. So you've got the follow is following people based off the tags that you selected, and it's going to unfollow people that don't follow you back within 3 days if you select the unfollow option. So if you want to unfollow users that were only followed by pinned Pinterest, I would recommend selecting this one right here. And that way, if you want to see content from certain people on Pinterest that you followed yourself, that pinned Pinterest doesn't unfollow those users if they don't follow you back. So I would make sure recommending that you check this little box as well. So this is kind of the core feature here with pinned Pinterest in terms of gaining followers. So you want to make sure that this is turned on at all times. And while we're talking about that, let's go ahead and drop down to the speed control. So this is important, especially when you're just starting out, and you want to make sure that you don't try to automate or do too many actions at the beginning. And you can see Pinterest has a recommendation here for new accounts that you don't follow more than, or you don't set your speeds to more than 120 per day for any of the different features. Because it's sometimes if you try to do too much at the beginning, Pinterest will flag your account for using bots. So you want to make sure that you start with these lower, and then you can kind of slowly bump them up. Honestly, I never even moved on the follow unfollow. I never moved the limits on those, and I still gained a really large number of followers. So use your own discretion there. So we talked about the follow and unfollow features. Let's go on to the auto pin features. So with the auto pin features, what it's going to do, Pin Pinterest is going to automatically pin things to your board or pins to your boards that are related to tags. So let's see, we'll select wedding bouquets. We want Pin Pinterest to start pinning some pins to our wedding bouquet board automatically. So you can put more tags. So like if I wanted to put maybe organic bouquets, so just to give it a couple different options here when it's searching for pins to put on our board. And then you can select the max number of pins to put on that board per day. All right. So then you would hit save tags, and now it's automatically going to be pinning 5 pins every day to your wedding bouquet board without you doing anything else. And so you could do this for multiple boards. All right. So a very nice feature that just lets it kind of run in the background without you even having to think about it. So that's the auto pin feature. Auto pin. Yeah. If you had added new boards in Pinterest and you weren't seeing them right here, you could click reload, and then it would put in a few new boards if it hadn't uploaded them yet. So I think you saw a couple come in there. All right. Next up, let's talk about the schedule feature. So remember, any new feature that you haven't been using that you want to turn on, you turn on up here under the dashboard. All right. So like we said, the schedule feature. So what this allows us to do is schedule our own pins. So pins that we want to make sure we get on there. So whether it's from somebody else's website, or if you're trying to promote your own content, putting your own pins out on Pinterest, which is important, and it allows you to schedule them. So what you would do is you scroll down here to the schedule pin section. You can enter just a URL, all right, from a website. So I'm just using an example here. And you go to next, and it's going to pull the images from that particular page, and then you get to select which one you want to use for your post, or for your pin, excuse me. All right, so it shows us the images. We're going to select one. You can choose which board you want to pin it to. So let's say we'll just go ahead and pin this one to the wedding bouquet board. All right, you want to write a description. So this is kind of where Pinterest is going to pull its keywords from. So this is important. So we'll say pink wedding bouquet Okay. Boom. And then you can select your frequency, how often you want it to pin, and then you can select the time. All right. So you can select what day. Let's say we'll pin it today. You can select your time. Boom. So 6:02 tonight. Save your pin, and now it's going to automatically pin this to your board. Okay, and then it'll also show you here which schedule pins you have already pinned in your history. So pretty simple. Again, this is kind of all of this is just setting up some of the daily actions that you need to be doing on your Pinterest to grow and doing them automatically. So real important. Okay, let's talk about your pinning your website. So anytime if you're trying to use your Pinterest account to grow your website or your blog, you want to make sure that you are pinning content from your website. So what you can do here is put in the URL to your website, and it'll pin from your website automatically. And it'll also save your sitemap. So you'll go in there, put your address or your website URL, and voila. Okay. Boom. So pretty simple there with the pin website. And then a couple of the last features. So with the comments section, you can automatically comment on other people's posts or pins. So you can go in here. You probably want to exit out a lot of these and select comments that kind of fit the voice of whatever your account or your blog is. So, if you're doing, let's say for this wedding account or this wedding Pinterest account, you probably don't want to say I ain't got the words, okay? So you probably want something a little bit more refined maybe. So I would exit these out and then put in whatever you would like for your comments. And then, let's see. And then it's automatically going to comment on pins that are relevant to your tags, okay? So it'll take comments from here that you've put in, which like you can just kind of like you were doing when you were selecting the tag. So let's say we'll write our own. Okay, boom, gives you your own comment there, and it'll use that for you. And like I said, it's going to comment on pins that are relevant to the tags that you selected. So again, pretty simple feature, but will help when we're talking about gaining followers. And then last but not least, we've got the invite right here. So what you're going to do is you can invite people to your group boards. And so there's really two kinds of boards in Pinterest. You have group boards and you have kind of your regular personal boards. And in group boards, people collaborate and they all post content to them. So you may not want to invite people, if you don't want people posting content on some of these boards, if you want to be in control of it, then you may not want to invite people. But group boards can be a really good way to get your content in front of other people. So let's just say, for example, that our wedding bouquet was a group board. Then we could select the invitations on, and it'll automatically invite people from our followers to collaborate on the group board. And I think there should be a limit as well. Yeah, so again, it'll send out 120 invites. But if you don't want to invite that many people, you can make it less. So just a good way to kind of start utilizing the group boards feature of Pinterest. All right. And then once you've got it set up here, so like we've kind of set up each of these different features, you would just click the start button, and then Pinterest will start running in the background and doing all of these different actions automatically for you. So it's pretty simple. I mean, if you look at that, it took us, maybe 10 minutes to get it all set up. And then it's just going to run and get you followers and impressions without you really doing any work. So really a fantastic tool. Highly recommend using it. And please let us know if you have any questions. All right. Thanks.